Listen. Live from the Sundance Film Festival, which is, well, pretty much going to be the final one as we come here to Park City for one last year. For those of you who've been following along since probably the A to Z show days, we have had so many good memories here. I didn't even realize that this was our 10th year. So we're here live streaming a bunch of the highlights because the difference is that not only are a lot of these movies going to be Oscar nominees, like if you've been watching, these movies that were already up there for the Oscars this year, but they, for the last 5 years, have been making this an online festival. So I want to talk about the movies that people are getting FOMO for because they're only in person, but the movies that you guys can start watching from the comfort of your own home. When I covered this festival, I feel like an old man, 10 years ago, there was no way to see any of these movies unless you had dropped thousands of dollars. Came all the way to Park City. And yeah, had to see them in person. Now they're going to be online. Half of them, Mr. Robert Redford pass. So this is the last of his vision here at the Park City Mountains. Really, where Sundance has been the entire time. But it's the finale because it's now heading over to Denver. So all you Denver Knights over there, Boulder, my bad. I don't want to upset the Boulder people before we even get to Colorado. But it's moving to Colorado. At one point, it was going to be Cincinnati. Yeah, just think about that. It's going to be Cincinnati. As much as it sucks that it's not going to be at Sundance anymore, at least it's going to be in a place that I think is pretty cool over in Colorado. So if you're tuning in, I want you guys to know that tomorrow they're going to be doing online movies. That is, they're $30 movies. Don't get it twisted. Like, you can get a whole group though, and it is a lot cheaper than getting an Airbnb over here, a flight, all of that stuff, and maybe even freezing in the cold. Even though this festival has not been the coldest, there's barely even snow over here. So the only ice we've seen is the people protesting down Main Street. But for those of you who have been tuning into the festival, those of you guys who are here, those of you who are going to be online, let's break down some of these movies, starting off with all of the ones that you're going to be able to catch at home. Starting off, I got this movie right here that I've been looking forward to for a long time because everything in the U.S. dramatic section, if it's still available, you'll see right there. You're going to be able to purchase it. And there's one movie right off the bat that I got to tell you to check out. Just saw it today because the screenings were packed. Guys, there is this movie called, as it loads up for me in a little bit, right here, Josephine. I hyped this up over on the Intercut podcast. I said, yo, this director, she made a movie called, I want to say something in Quiet, Soft and Quiet. Hated it. So that shows you how good of a director she is, that I was super excited for this movie named Josephine, where a little girl sees something happen and her parents, played by Gemma Chan and Channing Tatum, have to deal with it. We caught it today, and this, guys, is one of the number one movies you need to have on your radar. Even if it's sold out, as you can see right there on the side screenings. If it's gone, there's still a chance that it pops up. There's still a chance that if it wins something, you have the ability to be able to catch it in one of the award screenings that they're going to have online as well, also in person. But just looking at this right here, every single person who I've been talking to has loved this movie. That right there is a ratings bar that you can trust. And just coming off of it, this, I have to rearrange my top three. So starting off with the movies you can see at home, Josephine, keep this one on your radar. Another one that been saying was going to be a good one because we caught the short to this one a couple of years ago. We thought it was excellent. Now they made a feature film. It's called Take Me Home. I had the chance to catch this one at its premiere, and it was fantastic. It's beautiful. The short was pretty much the story of two sisters, one who's younger, who is on the spectrum, and when the parents die, the mom or the sister has to come home and now find a way to take care of her. The movie changes things up a bit, but wow, was the acting even better. The performances were incredible. The storyline. I've seen some people write some articles about the ending. Don't listen to them. Listen to me. Take Me Home is one of the best ones out there. At this point in time, it is also sold out because, some people listened and they knew it was going to be a good one. But keep this one on your radar. I thought this was fantastic. It is some of my favorite directing of the festival so far. As you can see right there, I give it my stamp of approval. Take Me Home. Another one at the festival that is also going to be on the online is If I Go, Will They Miss Me? Another short that we caught a couple of years ago that it's a little artsy. Don't get it twisted. This is in the next category. So if you look at the categories and you see this right here that says next, to some people that means that it's what's next up. It's going to be really cool. Some people don't like it. They like the movies that are in here, so they'll just say next, on to the next one. The short was very experimental, which is why it's in this category. But this is a movie that's taking place in inner cities, and it's very poetic. And I'm really excited to see how they're going to expand what was a mere couple, like 10 minutes, into a feature film. It has Danielle Brooks, who just announced the Oscars not too long ago, last week. So I'm very excited for this one. If you've caught it, let me know your thoughts down below. And so far, but she is an Oscar nominee. Yeah, let me not forget that. They did her dirty though. But this one's been getting pretty good reviews, so keep this one on your radar. If I go, will they miss me? Another one that's playing on the online category is this movie right here, as it loads up, called Hot Water. Did not get to go to a screening of this one in person, and damn did I want to. I hope they have the poster over here on the letterbox as I pull it up, because they sent us. Oh yeah, here it is. It's beautiful. It's gorgeous. It is a road trip between a mother and a son, and it is right up my alley. These actors, this does not load. You may know this boy from, what was it, eighth grade, which was also a Sundance hit. He was the one who wasn't good in the movie. He was good in the movie. He was a bad boy in this movie. He's been in several things. He was in Lurker from last year that we really loved. If I Had Legs, I'd Kick You. Funny Pages, a bunch of really good stuff. I am very excited to see what he's doing here as the lead role. So this is going to be one of the next ones that I'm going to catch immediately. If you've seen it, let me know your thoughts down below if it lives up to the hype. But Carousel is one that I have to shout out, even though this one did not live up to the hype. This probably had the biggest stars in it, which is kind of crazy when you're thinking about indie movies. And, like, why would an indie movie star people who have been in Star Trek, people who have been in all of these superhero movies? But Carousel, I was interested in because the director did a movie a couple years ago that I would highly recommend. Also was at Sundance. It was called Sometimes I Think About Dying. The short, fantastic. The movie, also just as great. But I heard that this one, as you can see right here, I scroll up to show you all the graph doesn't look so good. I think it's supposed to be like a generic story of a guy coming back home. He's divorced. He's hooking up with an old fling. I think there's a better version of that I'll be getting into. But Carousel, I mean, if you could snatch a ticket to this, it is insane to me that in the year of our Lord, 2026, you can catch a movie from Sundance with really big stars from your couch. So Carousel, keep that on your radar. If you've seen it, let me know. Are the people wrong? Are people enjoying it more at home? We'll see. This next one is the musical, also playing in the U.S. dramatic competition. It stars Rob Lowe, and it's supposed to be like a playwright who has some animosity, some past tension that they're going to bring up in this musical. I've been hearing a couple mixed things about this one, but I'm curious to see. I'm just curious to see it technically because I haven't caught it yet. But for the most part, I've seen some people who like it, some people who hate it. I'll be reporting on this one very soon, but it is available online. Another one that's available online, and technically, when we went to go see this one, Run Amok had the most walkouts I've seen. Now, to some of you, that may be something where you want to stay away from it. To others, that may be the most intriguing thing possible. I counted 30 walkouts on this thing because it's the story of who was putting on a play that is reenacting a tragedy. I'll leave it at that. Most people could piece that together. Our press screening did not, but it's kind of interesting because you also do have big people in here. You have what's his name from the Insidious movies, I think he's in. Patrick Wilson, thank you. And he plays one of the teachers here who's kind of encouraging her. It's a movie where it's telling kids that, they could express themselves any way they want to until the PTAA comes in and wants to stop them. I'm surprised with the amount of music that was cleared for this movie as well. So if you're catching this online, do so pretty quick because this is one that might go away. It's also based off a short, and out of all the shorts, I can't find this one. But as you can see right there, the bar is all over the place, so I'm curious to see where y'all fall from it. There was a goofy review. High School Musical Columbine. How you feel? Alina, the editor, says no. But, I didn't mind it, but I also didn't love it. But I'm a little bit like Patrick Wilson in the first half of the movie. Let the kids vent. Let them figure it out. The next one that we have over here also playing online is Z. This is from the next category. And if you know me, I am a big fan of this director. Even though the last one was practically a damn Burger King commercial that he did. But it's Kogonada. A lot of you who have joined in to see me discuss movies from Sundance have loved Columbus from him. You guys have loved After Yang. Nobody went to the theater to go see A Big, Bold, Beautiful Journey. But now he's back with Z. This is one of the first ones that I'm going to be catching in the morning. I'm very curious. It's been getting a little bit of mixed reviews, though, so I'm kind of worried about that. Again, it being in the next category, sounds like people are saying next to it, but it stars Haley Lou Richardson. The only thing that I've stopped to watch besides that Netflix climbing free solo thing was Haley Lou Richardson and Ponies, so that should tell you that this is at the top of my radar. So if you guys have seen it, let me know your thoughts. If it's good, if it's not, if Kogonada needs to, I don't know, go back to doing some of the old classics. The next one that we have over here is Union County. This is one starring Will Poulter. I've heard people compare it to another movie that's also in the premiere section where it's dealing with the opioid crisis in Ohio. I hear it's really good acting. Like a lot of the movies over here, 97 minutes. Like it's a breeze. It's pretty easy to catch some of these. I've been hearing good things on the performances here. I've been hearing it's a slow burn type of movie. So I'm excited to catch this one very soon. It's called Union County. Next one that we have here on the list, also playing online, is Bedford Park. I got to see the short for this, and honestly, it was nothing like I expected. In the short, you have a mother and daughter who go knock at a dude's house who was involved in an accident, only for them to enter the house and another accident happens. This is one of the very few that's like a whopping 121 minutes. So it's a pretty long one. I have my ticket to watch it online, and I'm very curious to see how they adapt the play, or not the play, but the short, because the short is like 12, 14 minutes, and now they're expanding it to a whole 2 hours. Very curious to see how they're going to do that. The next one that I have coming up right here is Big Girls Don't Cry as we move over to the World Cinema Dramatic Competition. And there's a through line through all of these right here. From Big Girls Don't Cry to this one over here that's also playing in the competition. Extra Geography to another one over here as I'm pulling it up. Well, I'll save the Huntress really quick, but there's a lot that are focusing on kids going through turmoil of some sort, be it a war, be it them trying to fall in love. A lot of period pieces too. Big Girls Don't Cry takes place in '06. You also have Extra Geography that takes place, I want to say New Zealand is also, this one may not be a period piece, but some of these other ones throw you back to other eras. I know there's one that's coming from Mexico as I try to pull it up right here. Tell Me Everything is another one as well. This one is a kid during the AIDS crisis thinking that people are just like dying left and right from him. Another one coming out of the World Dramatic Competition would be this one right here titled, as it loads up for me. Actually, let me stick to Hot Champ because this is in the U.S. competition. I've heard people say that this is almost like not necessarily a foreign film, but that it takes place in Tokyo's ballroom dancing. So I remember Minari just a couple of years ago was getting a lot of flack because they're like, how is this an American film? How is this running? That one took place in America. That's in Kansas. But this one, I'm kind of curious because this was one of the opening night films. So that means that Sundance had a lot of faith in it. And at least out of Sundance, this got a lot of rave reviews. So I'm very curious to see how people take this one. It's one of the first ones I'm catching tomorrow as well. How to Divorce During a War is probably one of my favorite titles out of the festival, in where, get this, they're trying to divorce during a war. I had my good buddy Taylor say that it was a little bit like Eddington-ish, which kind of piqued my interest even more. I've seen one of the actors in here in a couple of different things, but obviously it's timely. I've heard it's very dramatic, but also kind of funny in the way that it approaches its subject matter. How to Divorce During a War. One of the other ones moving on here is Hold On To Me, also playing in the World Dramatic Competition. There's a couple teasers out for this one, and I think it looks pretty interesting. It was also getting some decent reviews, as you can see right there from the graph. You also have this upcoming one right here, The Incomer, which I heard. I thought it was a horror. The group was telling me that it's more of a thriller. It's starring Domhnall Gleeson, who sounds like he's going through the surfer. He shows up at a town. Nobody knows him, and they kind of start like testing his patience. I'm very curious to see this one, and I was even told to go see this in a theater, which they have another P&I screening, so I might make it out to one. But if you are online, you don't have to go to a P&I screening. You don't have to go to any of the theaters. You can watch it from the comfort of your own house. One that's a nice little throwback is this movie called Burn, because we remember catching this director's first feature called We Are Little Monsters. If you guys know that movie, it is super quirky. This one has had Bong Joon-ho went on record saying, yo, this one is one to catch. It is intriguing, and it's covering the underbelly of a lot of homeless kids and how they're surviving in Japan. So I'm very curious to see this one because it sounds like it's even better than his last one. Oh, and he also did a short. Let me pull up the short right here. Show you the graph first. Graph's looking pretty good, solid. But this director, like I said, did a feature that we like, but also a short that, did it go to the Oscars? I feel like it had won something at least out of Sundance. Band's name is Makoto Hisa, and he made right here, Pisco the Crab Child is in Love. That's I can't. That sounds like the most indie short you could possibly think of. But I remember it being good. I remember We Are Little Zombies being good. So I'm very excited to see what he does with Burning. One that I'm a little worried about, but it is going to be streaming at home, is Night Nurse. A nurse for, I want to say, elderly people starts getting calls, and the calls get crazier and crazier and crazier. I found out that someone involved in this did a wacky movie from Chicago International Film Festival called, what was it, Can of Worms? All These Worms, something like that. I did not like that movie. Butchering the name of it right now. And looking at this graph right here, it is exactly what I expected it to be. That may be intriguing for you guys, but oh yeah, the title was All Jacked Up and Full of Worms. That was a ridiculous movie. And this right here, according to the graph, looks like it's just as ridiculous. So if you're interested in something that's all over the place, like an IPA of a movie, Night Nurse. One of the ones that I hope stays online is this horror called Rock Springs. It is the return of a girl who was technically in a movie last year. Kelly Marie Tran was the Wedding Banquet. That one was decent. This one is a horror film that is going to be playing online for some people if you can get access to it. I've been hearing decent things about it, so keep this one on your radar. But one thing I got pulled, which I'm very disappointed about, is this movie called Chasing Summer. So we had to rearrange plans because I don't even think they've told people who may have bought this movie that it's no longer available online. You can see right here, when you go to some of the movies, right on top of my little cartoon head, you can see it says in person, you can click online. We were told this morning, yo, this is not going to be online. Go check it out in person. So yeah, I did my job. It's decent. It's funny. It's quirky. It's supposed to be very sexy. But what's not hot is removing the screening right before people are about to see it. Like, it got removed for us right in the morning alongside another documentary, which I'm going to get to in a bit. But yeah, if you bought a ticket to this may be the first time you're hearing that they removed it. This thing's gone. You can't even click it no more. I was ready to buy a ticket because they removed the P&I for the press people, but this was still available, and it wasn't. So I had to go see the movie. And you know what? It's decent, but shame on you. Shame on you for making me Chasing Summer. But it was all right. So for those of you interested in those movies, or if you've caught anything else from the festival, if you're at the festival or if you're catching from online, let me know what's on your radar, what you've picked up, what recommendations I can give you as I move on to the next little segment that we have right here, which is the documentaries. I love documentaries. I know some people, they don't really care, but when I tell you that Sundance is working on some of the best ones, I mean it, because they got I think all 5 of the documentaries from the Oscars this year all premiered at Sundance, and a lot of them were the ones that I recommended to y'all. So let's just begin really quickly right here. Some of the documentaries to catch is The History of Concrete. This is going to be a mix, though. History of Concrete is only in person. And if you've heard me talk over on the Intercut podcast, this is a dude I am obsessed with. His name is John Wilson. He pretty much does a how-to series. The first year we came to Sundance, he made a How to Sundance as well. And now he's practically taken the show and made a movie about it, where the idea is that during the strike, after his show had ended, the only job that he could get was making Hallmark movies. And he finds the goofiest way to make it. If you know anything about John Wilson, he's doing the most mundane thing and learning about concrete, and then he's learning about love, life, all of these different things. History of Concrete, easily one of the standouts out of the festival that I was able to catch. We even saw a viral post because of where the premiere had happened. It seems like that was taken down as well. But if you're on film Twitter, you probably saw that over there. But if you're on the film site that is Sundance, hopefully you caught The History of Concrete, because it is definitely one of the ones you don't want to miss, whether you don't like docs or not. The man knows how to make a narrative through real life, and it's one of my favorites, one of my most anticipated, and it delivered. The next one that we have over here in the documentary section is When a Witness Recants. This was not available online for people, but it was available for press. And then they recanted it. I think it's HBO officially that picked this one up. We woke up at 8:15 in the morning. I'm gonna show you right here. 8:15. That's me right there at the Ray, as you can see. 8:15. And I'd do it again because this movie was incredible. It is a story of an incident that happened in Baltimore where a kid died because of his jacket. But the way this movie is able to flip what you've seen so many times, and it's sad that you've had so many documentaries, miniseries, films that have covered true stories of stuff like this. But this is Ta-Nehisi Coates who's producing and even in the film, breaking down how it's not just the usual suspects who you blame. In both cases, it's also the witnesses who are complicit. This man was at the screening, and they asked him a question. Everybody asked a question like, "Oh, I came to the screening. Please tell me that I did my job." This man yelled at everyone at the screening. He said, all of y'all are to blame because it takes a community for people or things like this to happen, for it to fail. Like I said, removing this from the platform for press people is already a big indicator that they're going to want to take this all the way. And if I were to compare it, last year I told you Alabama Solution was going to be the one. It got nominated for an Oscar. It's what I'm rooting for because I think it's a great doc. This is also picked up by HBO. I'm telling you, this might make it a long way through award seasons and the like. And rightfully so. Witness Recants, an incredible, incredible movie. Comes from the director who also did another Sundance movie called Luther from a couple years ago. I want to say already. It was almost like 2 years ago, but Luther. I think that one's also on HBO. So catch that one if you can. Moving on over here. Another one. Sorry, guys. These are all in person, but it's Once Upon a Time in Harlem. I was told don't leave the festival without seeing it, and those people are trusted people. This thing is incredible. It is practically the flip side of the one that I had just mentioned because this is a bunch of just like the most intellectual black people in this renaissance where the son of one of the dudes is filming the entire thing. So it is an archive movie of them bickering, arguing, like having flashbacks to moments of history. I thought this was an impeccably put together film. Really just a party where everyone's just discussing, smoke. It makes you want to smoke the moment you leave. This is really good. This is going to go all the way, guaranteed. So keep this one on your radar. Once Upon a Time in Harlem. It's been getting nothing but rave reviews out of Sundance, and rightfully so. Let me show you that graph right there. Boom! Fantastic, fantastic movie. Really good poster as well. Keep an eye on this one. Next one that we have moving up here with the documentaries. Hopefully, no, sorry, still not available online. It says right there. Paralyzed by Hope, the Maria Bamford story. Some of y'all may know this director, Judd Apatow, made a bunch of funny movies. He's worked on a documentary now on Maria Bamford, who's a stand-up comedian. Maybe you know her from her Target commercials. We were watching this doc, and her voice from Cat Dog pops out. I was like, yo, I didn't realize how many other things I knew her from, but I didn't really understand her comedy. This is a great documentary, not just breaking down her talent, but her philanthropy, her behind the scenes. This was a standout for me. I thought this was a really good documentary. There's like no score in the back. It lets the jokes breathe, and it was very heartfelt, and it was really cool to see her at the Q&A as well. So keep this one on your radar. Paralyzed by Hope, the Maria Bamford story. Hopefully we have sorry guys, The Disciple, also only in person, and it has to be. It's about that Wu-Tang album that dude bought. You already know what I'm talking about. It is about all of that controversy, and it is an incredible documentary about how that was made, all of the controversy that came in. But it is called The Disciple because it's about this dude right here who technically put it together. And what is a disciple if not someone who gives you a testimony? His part was interesting. But damn, does it stop the movie sometimes, especially when he starts like dissing Method Man, which I am not a fan of, bro. But when it would cut into the making of and all of the discussions of like what Wu-Tang stands for and everything, it's a movie that you do have to catch because just like the album technically wasn't a Wu-Tang album until it was, this isn't technically a Wu-Tang documentary until it is. But I would put it in my top so far. Love this one. Rooting for it. I don't think it's picked up yet, but I'm going to keep you on the radar with that one. Let's see, we finally got one online. We do not have one online. And this one, though, really, really dumb to not have online. There is an AI doc called the AI doc. And you would think they want to get the word out there. And then they're not. Interesting point about this one is that the dude who worked on this one also has another movie here called Tuner. And I'm 0 for 2 with this guy because I couldn't get into this one and I could not get into Tuner. I've heard both are fantastic movies. So I'm going to have to keep this one on my radar because I don't think I'm going to be able to catch this at the fest. But it is playing at South by, right? Mm-hmm. So maybe if you're over there, you can catch it. Or you can catch it in March where it's going to be out. Just like The Moment, this one played here. It was a packed crowd. Girl came in with not a Sundance outfit I would have ever worn. But this is going to be out like next week. So I've been hearing mixed things about it. But honestly, the more people complain about this movie, you ever hear people talk about a movie and how bad it is and it ends up intriguing you even more? That's The Moment, guys. Like, I've been hearing some smack about it. I've been hearing people overly praise it. I don't trust this graph right here because you already know that's all it stands. And then the 1 stars over here are Taylor Swift fans. So I really don't know where this is going to fall for me. But obviously, this is one that's only going to be in person, but it's going to be in theaters, like, just next week. But Charlie's going to get brought up a lot. I did not realize how many movies she had in this fest. Moving on to the next one over here, just some quick ones because there's a lot of almost like biopics, where they were profiling specific people. You got Give Me the Ball, which is already picked up by ESPN, that is talking about Billie Jean King. So if you're interested in that one, give that one a watch. We also have the Brittany Griner doc that just premiered here as well and was also only going to be in person, also picked up by ESPN Doc, so keep an eye out for that. Another one that's also here in person is Anti-Heroine, a wild title to have for a movie about Courtney Love, if you know her, and obviously her relations with one of the most prolific people to ever be a rock star. It's a, I don't know, I think it's a pretty weird title. And I'm also very, I don't know, I look at it sideways whenever a documentary or something is only like 96 minutes, because I don't think that's getting into anything. But if you're interested in this one, it is playing here in the second half of the festival. Cookie Queens is one where it's about the Girl Scout cookies season and how they pretty much approach it. And I've had people tell me that this is like Girl State. I'm a big fan of Boy State. I thought Girl State was okay. It sounds like they finally did the girls justice with this one. It's been getting nothing but fantastic reviews. And I need to catch this one soon. I hope I don't miss it, but we'll see. I'll have to keep it on my radar. Now, these next ones I think should be online, as you can see right there. They do have the online button. A lot of the documentaries obviously are going to be available. Do yourself a favor if you can. Check some of these out. I've been hearing fantastic things about Everybody to Kenmure Street, about, I think in 2021, there was like a bunch of people were all gathered up and then disaster came in, but it's about how the people, I want to say in Scotland, come together to be able to fight back. I've been getting really good word of mouth from this one, so I'm very curious to catch this one on the online platform. Hari Bell, which is in the next category, is a documentary that's kind of like a hybrid. So there's going to be a narrative also going along with this one, where it's following a bunch of really the rodeo scene in Mexico, but from the perspective of the non-masculine ones, I want to say. And I've been hearing fantastic things about how this is filmed. Well, the other side, I would say, where it's a very hyper masculine, toxic people. Now focusing on those that really don't fit that stereotype. So I'm very curious on this one because I've heard good things. The next one over here would be Closure. Probably the documentary that has been recommended to us the most from a lot of the doc heads, people who have only come to just see documentaries. It's about a father searching for his son. That's all I know about it. I know it comes from Poland. That's all I need to press play. This one should still have some available. I've been hearing nothing but great things. This may be one that makes it all the way. Next one over here is Who Killed Alex Oda? I'm going to find out with you guys tomorrow. The next one that we have over here is... It loads. And we were just hearing that Sundance was having some technical difficulties. And also that the lake got pulled. This one is about a Utah dam or I guess a lake that has been exposed to a bunch of toxic material, which means that for the past 10 years we have been exposed to a bunch of toxic material. But they did this one dirty. They removed this one from the U.S. documentary competition. I'm explaining to you guys how all the doc narratives, anything that's in competition, you can watch from home. Some of the premieres obviously may be available, but they're usually just here. This is supposed to be available for everybody, and they removed it. There are some theories out there I don't want to say quite yet, but when you have a documentary that's supposed to be all about giving out information, and then you don't make it available, I don't know. That just sounds like the dumbest thing to me. But I've heard a lot of people say that it is impacting, especially with it being the final Sundance. So it's almost like the whole town, all of Salt Lake City is going to go with it. So keep your eye on this one, even though out of all of these, they removed it. Some other ones that I've been hearing some good things about. I'm excited for American Pachuco. We got an Uber driver. He had seen a couple movies. This was the one. I don't know if it's because he just saw us. And he was like, oh, yeah, definitely. Go watch American Pachuco. It was really good. It was kind of like when we went to the bar and I decided to order a beer. And I'm like, yo, give me there was like an American lager. And I was like, give me the regular lager. This man served me the Mexican Acapulco lager because I guess he thought that was regular to me. And you know what? Bless that man. Because it was so much better than the Utah lager. I've been hearing good things for this one right here, American Pachuco. I heard that they had them stacked for the Q&A. It was Edward James Olmos. Who else did they have on there? I think they said, I'm blinking on who else our Uber told us that, because I think he took a picture with them as well. And this is pretty much just looking back at a bunch of Chicano storytelling. There was also a South by movie that covered a lot of this as well that I thought was pretty good. Um, and that one had one of the boys, one of the I want to say the motorcycle diary boys. I think both of them had done that one from South by, but American Pachuco. I have this one as one of the first documentaries that I want to get to. This next one, I've been hearing nothing but great things. Joy Bubbles. This one had packed screenings. People were waitlisting for this one, and I'm trying to tell a bunch of the critics, I'm like, this is available online. They're like, no. They wanted to go see this one in person. I know it's about a blind man who pretty much creates an entire underground telephone technological system. At 79 minutes, it has been getting, as I pull up the graph right here, fantastic reviews. So keep this one on your radar if you're interested, because you do have the chance to catch it at home. Another good one as we wrap up the documentaries right here would be Soul Patrol, playing in the U.S. documentary competition as it follows the American military, specifically in Vietnam and the 1st Black Battalion. This one's been getting good reviews as well, so I'm curious to catch this one alongside the final one that I have here for the documentaries, folks, and that is Public Access. I don't know if I'm allowed to say that a Safdie Brothers a producer on this, considering everything that's been coming out. But I'm not Page Six. I'm here talking about what I think is going to be one of the standouts, and I think is still available online, and where it's talking about public access television. If you're listening to me on YouTube, man, 20 years ago, this is where I would have had to have been on. Not everyone gets accepted to write for a publisher or anything else, but this would have been like the inklings of what live TV, this live streaming that I'm doing right now, would have been through public access television. So I'm very curious to catch this one. 107 minutes, lengthy just like it should be. Pause. But I'm very excited to catch this one because it's got some really good people working on it. Public access. Saying hi to the chat over here before I get into the last of the set, specifically all the ones that are only going to be in person. A big shout out to Watery Wings Z3. He is on set right here. Appreciate that. Didn't even ask me a question, but if you got one, definitely I'll answer it. Thank you for the donation right there. Comrade Conrad 6. What's your favorite film so far this year? I mean, we're talking officially released. Ain't that many good ones. Like, what am I supposed to say? Primate? Look, I'm going to say Send Help, even though I watch it in like 48 hours from now, because I've been hearing nothing but good things about that one. That's going to be the first theater movie that I get back into as soon as we get back to Salt Lake and the festival ends. So I'm very excited to get into that one. Primate was all right. Primate was all right. Oh, I'm going to say that Alex Honnold documentary. The one where he's climbing on Netflix. I thought that was fire. It's technically not a movie, but Skyscraper Live was dope. Shout out Alpha Coop as well here in the live chat.
Favorite from the festival.
Oh, favorite from the festival. That's easy. I mean, we just saw it. Josephine. It's a runaway hit. Take Me Home. Also very good. No, but it's like that's what Sundance is. I'm gonna get into some of the next ones right now as well as I get into the premiere category. A lot of the ones that I mentioned early on are available online. The documentaries start getting mixed. Time to hit the FOMO, ladies and gentlemen. All of these movies are the exclusives here at the Sundance Film Festival. And I think I'm only missing 3. Let's get to work. Let's wrap this up right here. The first one that I got here is Frank and Lewis. This was one that I was hyping up like crazy. I was talking about how this is a director who I think is one of the best ones out there because she has a movie called Late Shift that almost made it into the Oscar nominees. And this was pretty good. It's not as good as Late Shift, but I think it has some really solid performances about 2 inmates, one who has to take care of the other one because they have dementia. Rob Morgan, impeccable in this thing. Kingsley Ben-Adir, I'm just waiting for my man to get a nomination. He is fantastic. But Petra Volpe, it was really cool hearing her talk. She is a fantastic director. Had some really good interactions for the Q&A, and I'm always looking forward to the next thing that she's working on. This is one to keep on your radar. Definitely performance-wise. It's going to be one that stands out for a very long time. Frank and Lewis. The next one over here is The Gallerist, and look, there's that meme that goes around about watch and enjoy something before they yell at you. This falls into that as well. This is goofy, dumb, fun. It comes from Kathy Yan, which is why I know that people are already going to be up in arms because I called it on Letterboxd. This is a diss track because of everything she had to deal with because of Birds of Prey. She started her career at Sundance, so now she's back over here working on another movie. And like I said, it's pretty much looking at the art world and influencers and trying to get your stuff out there. And obviously, it's about movies for her, but they flip it into Natalie Portman being a curator. Jenna Ortega's who are her assistants. Divine Joy Randolph is the artist. You have everybody coming in playing all these different parts from producer to creative. And it is a goofy movie. I had a good time with it, but I can see why people are picking it apart. I could also see what the things that they say about influencers. Like, there is a moment here where they are making fun of the person who's practically saying, I have to explain it to you so that you can get context. I thought that was funny, especially with what they end up doing with that guy. So people need to ease up on it. I know it's not going to be everyone's cup of tea, but at 88 minutes, this thing moves fast. I think Natalie Portman is hilarious. We have been quoting a Jenna Ortega thing, and it's not even a word. So keep this one on your radar. If you are interested in Kathy Ann's movies, if you're interested in Natalie Portman, it's really cool seeing Nat. She was dope. We waved. She said hi. Gallerist. No date on that one yet. Gail Daughtry and the Celebrity Sex Pass is a mouthful of a title, but it is also one of the funniest movies. If you were a fan of David Wayne, I will say that. There are some people coming out of this not fully liking it, but you got to be a fan of Wet Hot American Summer. If you've been following the channel, you know I love They Came Together. This is that, the entire movie. Zoe Deutsch is given a Celebrity Sex Pass. I don't want to spoil who it is, even though I think it's technically on there. And she lives in Kansas or like some old timey town. It's pretty much a flip on the Wizard of Oz, where she has to go to California to complete her Celebrity Sex Pass with this person. And it is just a dumb joke after dumb joke after dumb joke, and we have been quoting it nonstop. If this isn't up your alley, then it's going to make you very sick. But if this is up your alley, it's also going to make your stomach sick because you're going to be laughing a lot. I can't wait for this one to come out. I don't know who's picking it up, but there is a lot of very funny jokes in this movie. So I hope it gets a release soon. Hopefully, I want it to go to theaters, but as long as it gets picked up and goes into streaming, then a lot of people will have access to it. Horror-wise, we got this movie called Buddy. It's super simple. Look at this right here. Look, there's nothing else to scroll. It's all right there. A brave girl and her friends must escape a kids' television show. That's it. Keegan-Michael Key, right? He's in the Buddy suit, or at least voices Buddy. And we're talking about like Barney gone wrong. Barney gone terrible. Barney gone horrendously. I thought this was a blast. We stayed up for the midnight on this. I've been hearing some mixed reviews on it because it comes from the dude who did it's the writer of Mandy, but the guy we just sat down and watched the short. It was 11 minutes of just, Too Many Cooks. If you've seen this one, it was like an Adult Swim intro. That is a short film, and it's just an intro. This man mixes this into, I don't even know if you can spoil this movie because it takes so many twists and turns while also being repetitive, while also being gory, while also being hysterical. Buddy. I had said in my review, Daniel Kaluuya's still working on his movie, so I'm very curious to see how that's going to come out. This is also one of those where I always like checking between Letterboxd and IMDb to see how people, kind of differentiate between them. And it had a much higher score over on IMDb, who I think are usually more horror-centric. So when we had come out of it, it was an 8, 7.6, which is still pretty high. But I'm curious to see how this one does. They were saying a horror movie was up for grabs for a lot of money. I don't know if it's going to be this one to break some sort of record, but moving on to the next one, it's already picked up. It's called Undertone. I slept with the lights on. I'm not even wearing headphones. I'm wearing earphones after what I see in this movie. It did not blow me away as much as I wanted it to, but I did walk out of this going, this is an evil, evil movie. It is all about, obviously, audio, bit reverse music, demons, podcasting gone wrong. If you saw the trailer to this, buy your tickets now, but also bring a priest or be blessed before you go in there because, bro, it's messed up. It's truly evil. It feels like the DNA of the audio is haunted. Undertone. It comes out in March, so it's also just right around the corner. But it is creepy. I'm telling you that much right now. I would also recommend Monolith. That was another movie that came out of South by, very similar, where a podcast host is also getting haunted. I think I like the narrative of that one more, but the atmosphere here, creepy. Absolutely wrong. Demented. Catch it if you're interested. Another one that's playing in the midnight section, and actually this one got the real big pickup. It's a movie called Leviticus from Australia. If you recognize that boy right there, it's because he was in Talk to Me. He's the one who gets real messed up right at the beginning. And this one in particular is about. Try to not get too spoilery here. He's in love with someone in the town, but what happens when the ghost that follows you looks just like them, the person that you think you love? Crazy needle drop. Crazy pickup because I think it's neon, right? I could be mistaken here. So that's a massive pickup. This is one of those where you can come in and look at it as a horror. It's got some decent elements into it. But I do think that specifically, Joe Bird, yeah, that's the guy right there. Incredible performance from him. Oh, and he's also in the shorts category, as Alina's telling me, for a short film called The Worm, which is going to be in the shorts midnight. So this man, I need to see him in like a rom-com because he's just getting beat up in every movie that he's in. But shout out Joe Bird. He is fantastic in this movie. There are points where this is one where if you're going in it for the horror, I don't think it goes all the way sometimes. There's some things in the lore that I'm very curious to kind of expand more upon. But it also works really well as a drama without getting too much into it, in where you're really seeing a love story. Like, it's kind of a full-on love story between these two dudes that then just gets interrupted by the horror elements of it. A lot of people have been loving it. It got a really good pickup. Keep your eyes on Leviticus. Next one over here is See You When I See You. It's also going to be playing at South by Southwest, but this stars the boy Cooper Raiff. If you have been to any film festivals, or you're an indie person who likes all of this underground stuff, if you could even call it that, because he's been picked up by a lot, Cooper Raiff has been that festival prince. He's practically taken the mantle away from our guy. What's his name? I'm sorry to say, you already knew. Yeah, Christopher Abbott. You got to hand it down. Cha-cha real smooth. Shithouse. Last year, he had a whole TV show. Helen Harper. I think he's got another one right here. I personally thought it started out very cheesy. Without spoiling it, it did something Christian movies do. But then it just gets progressively better, in my opinion, because it is that cheesiness that you have to give into. It is that corniness of someone who has lost somebody and is now dealing with PTSD, doesn't want to go to therapy. And it's Cooper Raiff doing the Cooper Raiff thing. And it's a little fantastic, I would say, as well, but it's coming from Jay Duplass, who just last year did one of my favorites in The Baltimoreans. So if you liked that one, I'd say this one is one to also add to your watch list. See You When I See You. Really great cast. I did not expect all the supporting people in there as well. Very good one. Going from one Cooper to another Cooper, you got, which one's this one? Hoffman? Cooper Hoffman. In a movie called I Want Your Sex, by a director named Greg Araki. If you've never seen Greg Araki's movies, I think he calls his film like gay little sex films. Like, that is what he puts. It's not an empirical picture by Wes Anderson or whatever, the new Spike Lee joint. This man makes horny films, and this whole movie is living up to the title, I Want Your Sex. Cooper Hoffman gets a job with this artist, pretty much like a CEO of this massive company, played by Olivia Wilde, who is obviously, honestly, almost playing into what everybody gave her crap for after the last one for Don't Worry, Darling. I wouldn't say this is so much trying to play on that relationship with Harry Styles, because this would be like an intern turned sex worker, or worker of sexual things, because her art is pretty much revolving around that stuff. But there are some really good sequences in here with some of these side characters who are in the film. I think Cooper puts it all out there. Olivia puts it all out there. I think she's really great as a supporting role. But Olivia also has another movie at the festival that was getting a lot of praise. But this one was really hyped up. If you have never seen a Greg Araki film, probably catch another one before you catch this one. But I would still say that this is his most accessible, because it's way goofier, it's funny, and it also has Charlie XCX in this. So that's the second mention we got of this girl. I Want Your Sex. I don't know who's picked it up yet, but this will definitely be out there very soon. The Shitheads is another one. We got our group watching that right now, and we got to go to the premiere of this. It's got O'Shea Jackson Jr., it's got Dave Franco, it's got the boy Mason, who's from How to Train Your Dragon. O'Shea was even wearing How to Train Your... No, he was wearing a Toothless shirt, which I thought was pretty funny. Pretty much these guys are bums. Like, they can barely keep a job, and they get hired to take this rich kid who is known as being a deviant. And they just got to get him from point A to point B. And of course, they can't do that. To be honest, I wasn't really looking forward to this movie, but I always go in with an open mind, and it was decent. I would say that this isn't a Sundance movie as much as it is a South by movie. This is a movie you want to see with a crowd in Texas where everyone is partying. They were trying to pitch this as being like a very dramatic role for O'Shea. No, bro, no. It's called The Shitheads, and there is shit. They bump their heads. No, this is a goofy movie. The moment you see Nicholas Braun is in this movie, Peter Dinklage is in this movie, you cannot tell me that anything that these actors do in this film is supposed to be dramatic in any way, shape, or form. Nicholas Braun, who's cousin from Succession, he was in a movie called Zola from Sundance a couple years ago. I don't know how he made a character worse than what he was in that movie. And I still quote his character from that one where he's looking at like TikTok reels and he says, I want to make movies just like this. The guy, his character in here is even crazier. But that wraps up the ones that we had seen. This is my watch list so far. These are the ones that I may be missing. So these are the ones that I want y'all to tell me about. Tuner. Everyone in my group has seen Tuner. Except me. I have not been able to tune in. I've been tuned out twice trying to catch this one. This one started off, I want to say a lot of the group saw it at TIFF. It played at New York. Again, this is the director that's got 2 movies out there, and this one's been getting nothing but great reviews. It's about a piano tuner turned into, it's like a heist movie?
Do you want to know?
I don't want to know anything, though. It comes out in May. It's one that I'm going to have to wait for, but I've been hearing nothing but fantastic things, and I'm hoping. Tuner people, if you're tuning in, send me a ticket. Send me a link. I'll take anything. Tuner, nothing but great reviews from the group. The next one that we have probably as one of our final screenings in Park City before we head out of here is The Invite. We were just talking about Olivia Wilde. She hit it big. We met one of our boys, one of our listeners, one of our inner cuties. They were saying, how good is The Invite? Man said, Olivia Wilde is forgiven for Don't Worry, Darling. I was like, all right. This is a, I won't say a two-hander because there's 4 of them. It's a double two-hander. It's 2 couples in a house. And it is Olivia Wilde, Seth Rogen, Penelope Cruz, and Edward Norton. That is the whole movie. They are arguing. They are opening up about their relationship. And this thing, as I pull up that little graph right there, every single person who has seen this has damn near put it as their number 1. This was one of the big deals out of Sundance. Who ended up picking it up? It was like, this was the one where you would wake up in the middle of the night. It was Fox Searchlight, or rest in peace Fox. It was Searchlight. It was A24.
Sells to 824.
824 to a total what?
It started at 10 mil, so 10 plus.
Somewhere in 10 plus mil, which is crazy for a movie all set in one house. It was also a 72-hour bidding war, which, man, there are... Well, oh, wow. So she took a little cut there, but 10 mil, that's probably one of the biggest ones out of Sundance right now for The Invite that has been getting nothing but hype, that is only in person. This one was so big, our group had tickets, and they were turned away. Tickets! The Invite. Hoping to catch it right before we leave because it is easily one of the most anticipated from the festival. Next one that we have over here is The Only Living Pickpocket in New York. I am still missing this one, hoping to catch it before we leave, but it's John Turturro as the only living pickpocket in New York. I also heard that Gus Fring is in this.
Yes.
I also heard some other people are in this that I don't know if I'm supposed to know yet.
Scroll down, look at the cast.
I don't want to see the cast. I want to see the movie. Only Pickpocket. It's only in person. I'm hoping to fit a screening of this one in. So if you've seen it, hype it up for me. Tell me why I should go see it. Oh, Tatiana Maslany. That's why we saw her around. They said she was going up and down Main Street. And she's in this movie. All right. So they're in the cast? Okay. I don't want to know anymore. I need to see that movie. As well as these last 2 that I have right here. Wicker. Once this loads, I'm gonna tell you what I've been hearing about this. And every single person recommends this movie. Every single person has a different thing to say. It is about Olivia Colman back in like a period piece back in the day, working on some basket weaving. Her basket weaving leads to her creating a husband for herself, played by Alexander Skarsgård. I've been seeing this thing called Horny Pinocchio, because he comes to life. I've been seeing people make fun of Furio in Wicked 2, saying that he doesn't compare to this man right here. And then I probably got the wackiest one, which was someone called this, I don't know what, and Babe Pig in the City. I don't know where these recommendations are coming from. They're so left field, but it makes me even more and more interested in it. I don't have a ticket for this one. This may be one that slips through the cracks, but we are knocking on basket weaving material because I need to get into this one. Nothing but good things out of Wicker. Really good graph right there, as you can see. And I don't think this one's picked up either. So got to keep a radar on this one. Let me know if you caught it. As well as the final one right here, which is The Wait. This one premiered just a couple of days ago. It's one of the final ones. Every year that we've come here, I've always mentioned how you can see a bunch of celebrities. That's why people come here for the parties and all that good stuff. But I usually come here for the movies. Beautiful mountains. I'm always stuck in a theater watching whatever the next things are to let you guys know what's new. And the one celebrity that I've always seen that I kind of run into is Ethan Hawke. I saw this man almost bust his stuff in front of the Doubletree and gracefully, like an actor, picked up himself and was able to walk right through. Every year that we come to Sundance, we either watch an Ethan Hawke movie or an Ethan Hawke produced, Ethan Hawke directed film. So this can't be the year where we don't. The Wait, at least so far, is going to be our final screening here at Sundance. And like I said, it is truly the final movie here at Sundance because Sundance is moving. Like I said early at the top of the show, it's going to Denver. So shout out to everybody, all of the listeners, the inner cuties that I was able to meet at the different lines and stuff. If you've seen if you see a Mexican cartoon walking around, definitely come and say hi because it's been really cool seeing people who made it out for the final year. Because for the 10 years that we've been coming, and for the people who've been doing this for like 40 years, it's Sundance in Salt Lake in Park City, back when it even used to be in the mountain resort. It's part of the DNA of it. And to see it finally, move to Colorado and Boulder, it's going to be an interesting shift. I don't mind Boulder because we've been there and they have a really cool movie scene. They've always treated us well when we go there. So I think it's the best option if it had to move. But outside of that, it's definitely going to be a shift in things. So I'm very curious to see how it goes. I'm very curious to wrap up this festival. Like I had mentioned, a bunch of movies start tomorrow online. Get on it. If you've never been able to come to Sundance, you can still do it from the comfort of your own couch. If you are here, let me know what your favorites have been. And until next time, keep watching movies. Don't forget to comment, like, and subscribe, do all that good stuff. And I'll see y'all later. Take care.